Hi, welcome to the second of our Futurelab Weekly Webinars, where every week we have an article, a little video like this, and a webinar to introduce one of the many topics that we have worked on over the years to share our knowledge with you. Last week I introduced the CCC model to you, which helps us set up the core of our Voice of the Customer system to generate actionable insights, to create value based on those actionable insights, capture that value and communicate that value. So today we want to dive a little bit deeper into the first of those topics. How do we set up the core system? And the very first topic of that is, like with any project that you start, you need to have a very clear understanding of what is your data strategy. And we summarize that quite simply into who, what, when, and how. So first of all, we need to establish who do we actually want to talk to? Who are the right stakeholders who can deliver interesting insight to us, but are also willing to engage with us and deliver those insights to us? Secondly, we want to look at when do we want to engage with those stakeholders? What are the right touch points? What are the right moments in the customer journey? But even very specifically and concretely, what is the right time of the day? What is the right time to have passed between the interaction and the moment that we engage with them? Thirdly, we want to look into what do we need to ask? Which metrics do we need to use? But also, which questions do we need to ask to get to those correct metrics? And here we also come to a very important other point, of course. What other information do we want to capture? Because it's not all about asking, it's not all about sending out surveys, it's also creating a lot of non-survey elements where we can capture behavior and understanding of the customer. Because at the end of the day, we want to understand the emotions and the actions that the customers display and what we can learn from that and how we can, based on that, create actionable insights. And finally, once we have established all these elements, who to ask, when to ask, what to ask, then we can look at the right technologies and methodologies. In other words, is it pure observational? Is it asking maybe the employees what they have observed about customer behavior? Is it a pop-up on the website with just one question? Is it a classical survey that we send? Is it a WhatsApp interaction? The technology follows the data strategy and doesn't lead as it does in many cases. If we have this data strategy well in place, then we can start looking at what are the right systems that we need to support this and what are the processes that we need to establish within the company. Now, these are topics for our next two webinars, so please have a look at all the topics and I hope to see you again next week.